We're new Edge Renovation and Design. Kind of hard to believe, but we turned this into this. Let's go. Today we're over here on Randolph in Pleasant Hill, Missouri. When we first started this project, we did a walkthrough and kind of talked about what we might do, what we might change, what we might leave alone. A lot has transpired through the last 3 months on getting this house renovated. Ran into a bunch of different problems, so let's take a look at it and we'll kind of talk through how we ended up where we are. So on the front of this one, our deck has sloped. There's some dirt on the end of that board. Termites bring dirt in. Anytime you have something that obviously you can move the deck, it's not good. So we're gonna replace this whole porch. Last time we were here, we had just started tearing into this deck. Somebody at one point had started shoving bricks and things under the supports. One thing I didn't account for is this whole covered porch had sunk about 8 inches. So we ended up having to reframe and rebuild this entire front porch and all of the framing holding up this big covered porch in the whole attic space. So it ended up being a lot of work, a lot more than we had anticipated. I thought I was just gonna be able to redo some posts on this lower deck and didn't work out that way. But at the end of the day, this is gonna be a long-term investment for us. And when you're dealing with an investment, a lot of the people when they're doing their rentals try to go as cheap as possible. But for me, I don't want to have to come back. So let's do it right. And then 10 years from now, I can still be happy with the structural side of this and we can just make it pretty again or whatever's trending at that point. Whenever it's time to sell it or refi it, or kind of one of my plans is to give my kids each a house. So this might be one of my girls' houses at some point. So I want to make sure it's all done right. Let's talk about kind of our design, what we decided to do on this almost full rebuild of most of this house. So I've always wanted copper gutters. Most of the houses we do are for other people and it's kind of a style thing. I've always wanted to do it. So this was my opportunity to do it because it's a rental house. So it gets to be whatever I want it to be. Gutters are one of the most important parts of a house. No, they don't solve all of your problems, but with them and proper grading and sealing everything, and good paint and good windows and making sure your house is taken care of, you can increase the lifespan of your house by 20 to 30 years. I know there's some people out there saying not to put gutters on your house. Don't listen to that BS. It's the worst advice you could ever get. However, gutters aren't a one-stop shop. They have to be maintained. You have to clean them out. You have to make sure they're running away from your foundation. You got to make sure your dirt is running away from your foundation. It's just a very important piece of maintaining a good house is keeping your foundation good and keeping that water draining away. Here, what we ended up doing, we built up underneath the porch to push water this way. We obviously put a gutter here, ran it out. We went with a true hardwood 1x6 pine on the exterior with treated decking. And then we did also the 1x6 up on the top, just kind of to accent it. So when we first started this project, originally this house had lots of different types of siding, some windows that were plywood over, leaking water into the basement. This is the only old window. This is the laundry room. I don't know why they didn't do it. This window also hasn't been done, and you'll see inside. I think we turned this window into a back door, and then we have a deck that will walk out to go to the garage.
That makes sense.
Fill all this in with dirt.
We fight water on every property.
That's
water.
not peel and stick wood.
No, that's water.
Yeah, it's always water. But I think we're gonna get rid of this door completely.
Just side this.
Just side this whole thing. Probably rip off everything. I think this whole side back here is an addition. The original house was up there.
Stops right here.
It stopped right there. We refinished everything over here. This was originally the deck. You see this dirt spot. We ended up having to regrade everything, ran the dirt away from the foundation, sealed everything up, removed that deck. We ended up adding another window when we redesigned the kitchen, and we moved the deck to the back of the house. So we had to redo all this, seed it, get it ready to go. Hopefully it'll be green grass here in a couple weeks. I know we've done a lot of different deck videos and looked at how we do our piers now. You look at these, they literally just stuck a 4x4 into a little bit of concrete and called it good.
Gotta go below the frost line.
We got to get below the frost line, so you need to go to 36 inches around here. That's not going to cut it. That's why they rotted out.
Look at this.
Yeah, it's also why we can't bury our main supports because they rot. So anytime you're doing a deck, if you see that your your wood goes down into the ground and is surrounded in concrete. We can't do that anymore. We have to have a bracket on top to hold everything, keep everything together. Toast.
Rotten.
So we ended up adding a door on the back of the house with a 10 by 12 deck off the back, steps with a walkway to the garage. Originally, there was no way really to comfortably come in from the garage to the house, as I kind of assume this is where they're going to be spending most of their way to get into the house. We wanted to make it easier and a little cleaner. Also, when we go inside, you'll kind of understand why we did it. Big piece of this remodel was just making it, divaning it, if you will, as Brian likes to say, and making it more practical, more easy to live in. When you're looking at old style floor plans, a lot of times they don't take into account how people live today. Laundry rooms and all that kind of stuff was an afterthought. I think we moved this layout a lot to where it's more practical and easier to live in. So I'm excited to show you the inside. Let's go check out the inside of this house. So hardwoods, I'm assuming there's hardwoods under everything. Nope. Dang.
Oh no, it's painted hardwoods.
Is it? Cool.
Yeah,
We can do that.
We can finish those.
Luckily, we were able to salvage the hardwood floors, the original pine hardwood floors. I just went with a water-based clear coat. The water-based is a little tougher than the oil, gets a little bit harder. We did all new LED lighting throughout the house, all new light fixtures. We ended up keeping all the original door frame trim just because it's so cool and old. I like to keep some of the old stuff in these houses. So originally, this bedroom, you entered here or into the kitchen. We removed the kitchen door. See what I'm saying? I think if we get rid of this door, we can extend this out. I'm also planning on getting rid of this upper and building some floating shelves. Just something to try to make it feel bright and welcoming because it's kind of tight.
Devon, this would be perfect size.
Is that 36?
For a fridge.
Because that thing's too big anyway. It's awkward.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, this opening right here is 45. That'd be an awesome pantry. We could fish in a light right inside of there, put a deal here, and then we could just face this the same as the cabinets, just like we did over at Independence.
Refinished the kitchen, built in a cubby for the refrigerator because it was setting out in the middle and it just took up too much space. We decided to build a cubby for that. We turned this little area that was just an awkward space into a built-in pantry, built some custom doors for it. Anytime you have a small kitchen, one thing everybody thinks about is storage. And we just didn't have a lot of storage or cabinet space. So I wanted to give them an area. The other thing we did, because this all felt so squeezed in and tight before, there was no window over here. There was a door that went to nothing. We moved the sink from the corner down to the end so it kind of feels like you're out here in the open, and added a lot of cabinet space. The cabinets before ended somewhere right in here. We took a cabinet, we cut it in half, made custom doors and drawers for it to make this more narrow. So it doesn't feel like you're squished in here, and it just kind of helps feel finished and gives you a little bit of extra space, a little bit extra counter space for a coffee bar or whatever you want to use it for. New appliances. There was no dishwasher. As Brian likes to tell me, I'm practically bougie, which means we have to have a dishwasher. We have to make this thing easy to live in. It's got a huge laundry room, which was just kind of a waste of space before. The laundry room, we built a little boot bench in here for them to be able to unload all their stuff, put their boots on in the morning or come in whenever he's dirty or finished with a long day. We went ahead and did granite on this. Since this is a rental, normally I would have done butcher block, but since it's a rental, a lot of your selections are based on aesthetics, but also how well they're gonna hold up. Because they might get beat up a little bit. People don't care. They're not gonna take the same amount of love with a butcher block as they are granite. So that just helps it look a little better, but really it's just stronger. They got plenty of room in here for hanging clothes. I don't know what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna store a bunch of stuff here. We added some extra cabinets, just more storage, the better. And that's what a lot of these old houses are missing. We removed a door there was actually a door right here where this boot bench is that went into that bedroom.
Because this is a huge laundry and almost a waste of space.
It is. So if we can somehow utilize this, or
we're gonna end up blowing that whole thing out.
No, we're not. The only negative is this is the only way into this room other than, oh no, we can come in from the living room. So we can just barricade that off if we wanted to.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Well, I do want access to this back room from that main area. We have to have that.
Well, but if we had it further back, then we could almost move that door. I think there's a lot we can do without just completely divaning everything.
Divaning, is that a verb?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Brian said we were divaning this house by changing the whole layout. We literally built maybe 3 walls, little bitty walls, and made this house much more efficient and much more practical to live in. We did add this back door. There was no door here. This tile was actually left in the garage and we just reused it. And I thought it was all black, but I'm kind of in love with it and now I can't find any more. So we're gonna be on the hunt for some more of that tile because I think it really is neat. So we got 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom in this house, and they basically have a Jack and Jill set up. This one has double closets. We put ceiling fans, new windows. So then you walk through over here to the bathroom and it's a Jack and Jill. I don't think we replaced the tub. I think we just removed the surround and tile it and get rid of this ugly yellow light.
Yeah, how about this drop ceiling?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is.
Yikes. Is that peel and stick tile?
It's peel and stick.
Hell yeah.
Good old peel and stick. But the doors are all solid. No, they're not.
They're solid, but
They
thin.
got that weird panel. But that's okay. I think we keep them. We kind of went a little high end on our tile, the floor tile. I had 1 piece and I thought I would save some money by just buying some more, but these things are like $150 a tile. That wasn't smart, but I love it. Again, make it strong, make it to where people can't really tear it up as much as a rental. We kept the original bathtub and just refinished it with an epoxy glaze. Where this was just kind of rusted out, we're able to keep this old cast tub and these hard doors. I think the only thing we left in this house was this, and it's honestly because it surprises me. This is a stick-on tile with a grout. I've never seen such a thing. It looks really good. I just don't like it because I'm old-fashioned and I think tile's better. The whole backsplash was that too. I left it because it kind of looks cool and it's not really doing much anyway. So this is the other bedroom. They're going to use it as an office for just about 900 square feet. This house really lays out pretty well with access to all your different rooms and also a separation so you can separate yourself and you're not having to listen to your laundry room right in the middle of everything. The other thing we do in all of our houses, smoke detectors up to date, tie them all together. All the safety issues that we can possibly get ahead of, we take care of. So hopefully these people can live here for a year while they build their house. They move into their dream home. I don't know if we're gonna turn this into an Airbnb or a rental. Maybe we'll do a video on that after they move out here in a year and we'll check it out. So follow along and you'll kind of see how and why we transition to where we're at.